Hi, my name is Maddie, and I am on a journey of weight loss and financial wellness after last year when I had a baby. Oh man, I'm kind of excited to be making this video again. A lot of people told me that when I did this the last time around, I did it for 2 weeks, that it was really helpful. It was just a generally well-received video. I appreciated it. It was nice to watch the scale move. However, once the camera cut off, the scale proceeded to not move for like 10 days. Now, I have a whole rant prepared, and if you're like, Maddie, I don't care about your rants, I just want to see what you eat, then feel free to skip ahead. But the scale stopped moving despite me doing what I feel I'm supposed to be doing in the kitchen. But luckily for me, results day rolled around, and your girl, I had a whoosh, as they call it in the weight loss community, and I dropped like 2 pounds basically overnight. I was shook. So now currently, I'm a little over a week into the Chloe Ting challenge, and the scale has not moved. What the hell is going on? And I'm not gonna lie, I totally had an unhinged rant on my Instagram stories. So follow me on Instagram. But I had a full like unhinged rant about me being frustrated because like, here's the thing. I would like to think that I am honest enough with myself to admit like, Maddie, you've been half-assing it. You haven't been whole-assing it. However, I have been whole-assing it. I've been working my tail off. Part of the reason I really love to do the challenges like the running challenge, thank you guys for the support on that video, by the way, and the Chloe Ting challenge and all other challenges in between, is because when I am working that hard physically, you best believe I'm not squandering it in the kitchen. Because here's the thing, you can't outrun your fork, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I nearly just died. I'm not gonna have a piece of cake and ruin all that progress. I mean, cake is good, but it's not worth unaliving for in the gym. Well, I'm not in a gym, but you get what I mean. Like when I work out, it's not worth it. So part of the reason I like to do the challenges, it keeps me very motivated to be good in the kitchen. And so it's really frustrating when the freaking scale stops moving. It just is. And even though I did like lose that weight by results day, sitting there for like 10 days and then another 7+ days with the scale like not moving. And yes, it did move in the middle there. So technically that's not a full-blown plateau. It moved. Regardless, for me in Maddie time, that's like 18 days of the scale not really moving. It sucks. I don't know what else to say. It feels like I've been plateaued for weeks, even though I haven't been. Like, Maddie, you need to calm down. I'm calm enough. But I will say, this video is not sponsored by Renfo, although Renfo is an ongoing friend to the channel. We love Renfo. Renfo sent me their smart scale. I use their smart scale every single day. And so I realized, Maddie, you have a smart scale. You have the technology. Use the smart function on your smart scale. Because here's the thing, I stumble in to weigh myself every morning like a drunk girl coming out from a party. And so I finally was like, okay, the scale hasn't moved. Let me use the smart function. And I actually did put that screen recording in my day 1 Chloe Ting accountability video. And despite the fact that the weight hasn't changed, the smart scale was a G, and let me know, Maddie, the scale is not changing on paper, but all of your other things are changing. There are changes happening within you, even in that 1 week where my scale weight wasn't moving. So that's just my reminder to you. Even if you don't have a smart scale, please keep up with your other measurements, because I really was downward. I was spiraling. I was. So if you listen to that rant and you're still here, thank you. You're a real one. All right. So for this, what I eat in a week, it will last 1 week. Hello. Aw. It will last 1 week. I will only weigh in once a day. If you guys are like, no, Maddie, I really like that you weighed in twice a day in that other video, please let me know in the comments. That last video was a bit of a bear to edit, so I'm trying to like help future Maddie. But if you liked it, let me know and I'll go back to doing that if I do this again in the future. everything that goes into this mouth, I will be letting you guys know about. And then also, just a reminder, these numbers were given to me by a dietitian. Whenever I first started this journey at the beginning of this year, I consulted a dietitian, and then I got sponsored by Nourish. If you guys have seen my running video, I got sponsored by Nourish, and I spoke to a registered dietitian, and she basically confirmed what I've been doing. She did have me go lower on fat, and she also did have me lower my carbs a little, but she also literally said, eat at least 150 carbs a day. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I set the limit in the Lose It app to 150, but if I go over, just know it's okay. Fat has been a struggle for me. For some reason, that 65 grams of fat, oh yeah, I can stay under 65 grams, but we dropped down to 55 and I am struggling a bit. But, you know, we'll see. Stay tuned. I'm doing my best, and I'm hoping maybe this will kind of help me troubleshoot some things. But I say that partially to also say, like, please don't assume that your numbers will be the same as my numbers. If you can, consult with a dietitian. I really did have a great experience with Nourish, but whatever dietitian is convenient for you, definitely consult with someone. I no longer can say that I would advise just plugging your numbers into like the Lose It app or something. It was like telling me to weigh under eat on my calories. As much as like stalling and plateauing really pisses me off when I'm doing the best I can possibly be doing, because I still have plenty of weight to lose, I am also not going to start under eating just to see the scale move, because the fact of the matter is I'm just going to set my future self up for failure. Full stop, straight up. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to go on and on. I just have a lot to say, okay? All right, then as far as today goes, I will be honest, yesterday was a cheat day. I hate using that word, but I don't know what else word to use, and you know what I mean when I say cheat day. It was a holiday, it was Memorial Day. Went to my mom's house, made a sushi bake. I'm trying really hard to stop eating out constantly on my cheat days. But regardless, I definitely overate on calories. So that did reflect on the scale this morning. I'm not concerned about that, to be honest though, because that's like by and large going to be water weight, obviously. So for breakfast this morning, I was not in the mood to talk to the camera. I've got some more pep in my step now. And you weirdo, does anyone else's cats lick them? He's a freak of nature. I wasn't in the mood to talk to the camera. So for breakfast, I had these Trader Joe, my brain's wanting to say egg frittata. Is that what they're called? I wanted a little more protein, so I had a Dannon Light and Fit Greek yogurt. It's the only Greek yogurt I can tolerate. I really do not like Greek yogurt. It's the smell for me. I don't know why. If anyone else is like that, please let me know. It'll make me feel better. And then I had an Alani because, God, I was struggling today. I try not to have those every day, but they are nice. They're super low calorie and they're just nice. And then for lunch, I am having a little leftover sushi bake. We are running low on fiber, so I'm definitely gonna have some edamame. And for dinner, I am actually making a take on Olive Garden's Zuppa Toscana soup. I'm so excited. It's very good. I know it's getting hot and it's not soup season, but guess what? Soup season is where the heart is, and my heart is always with soup season. I love soup season. We'll be having that, and I'll also be having another one of those peanut butter banana chocolate chip pocket thingies. I'm gonna be using some PB2 powder though, because again, I'm trying to cut down on my fat. It is not easy, but that is what I am trying to do. So yes, those are the things. And of course, as usual, if I eat anything else or do anything else, you'll see it in B-roll, you'll see it. If nothing else, you will see it when I show the screen recording of the Lose It app. That is what I use. I have a Lifetime Pro membership. They just had a special and I jumped on that and I quite like it. Okay, I've been flashing y'all some major cleavage this whole time and I've been talking for 10 minutes. For the love of God, matey. Okay. Once I was going over the footage for this, I realized I did that thing where I was like, oh, I only made 1 or 2 changes to this recipe, but actually I made a bunch of changes, so much so that I wish I had filmed this in its entirety. First and foremost, I did use turkey breakfast sausage. That's kind of my go-to Italian sausage replacement just because it's a lot less calories and fat. I also used a full bunch of kale instead of half for the fiber, and I only took out some of the bigger stems, but despite the recipe saying destem it all, I put stems in there. It broke down. It was good because, again, fiber. And then I wasn't really feeling coconut milk. I do like coconut milk in, like, curries and things, but like for a soup, I just feel like everything tastes like coconut milk. Now, this specific recipe is the Whole30 variation, which is why they use coconut milk, but to me, half and half is just better. So I did 16 government ounces of half and half, and I also added 2 cups of beef bone broth for protein. I specifically got the beef bone broth from, God, say that 3 times fast. Beef bone broth, beef bone broth, beef bone, blah, blah, blah. I got it from Trader Joe's because it was cheaper than the chicken bone broth, and it's also cheaper than Kettle and Fire for some reason. And then last but not least, I added a small bag of cauliflower florets that I let cook down with the potatoes. So this is essentially a marriage between like a Whole30 version of this soup and a keto version. I actually love the cauliflower in this. I don't know why, I just think it really adds to it. And to think I used to hate cauliflower, but I made myself like it, and you can too. At some point, I will probably remake this in a vlog and just show you my version of it. For day 2, I knew I was going to be boring and we were going to have leftovers on the horizon, so I really wanted a fiber-forward breakfast, and when I think fiber breakfast, I just think oatmeal. If you guys have a different idea of a fiber breakfast, please let me know because I need ideas. And this time I went with a peanut butter apple oatmeal. Just a quick sidebar because I am shook at the slightly different macros on these 2 different PB2 powders. One has 2 extra grams of protein and 1 extra gram of fiber, and like at a glance, I would have sworn they were the same brand. I don't know if I showed it, but I did have some boring drip coffee with artificial sugar and 1 serving of creamer for 15 calories. Then, like I said, lunch and dinner were boring because I had leftovers. I added some avocado atop my sushi bake, and it was very good. For a snack, I did have a Fairlife protein shake because it literally tastes like chocolate milk. I used to be a Premier Protein girly, but for some reason they started giving me a stomach ache. I'm not sure why. I actually had a dietitian tell me that this is pretty common because of one of the ingredients, but still, they used to not do that. And it sucks because Fairlife is freaking expensive. I've heard Aldi sells a dupe and Sam's Club sells a dupe, so I'm gonna look into that. I also have some raspberries and some Baked Believe dark chocolate, and that honestly hit the sweet spot as a sweet little treat, like me. Why is the lighting so bad in here? Little man is teething. He was up at 2 a.m. I have no right to complain because Henry was the one that got up with him, but he was very distraught, so I was awake, but still, I have no right to complain. But it is time to make a little breakfast, a little brekkie brek. And I wanted to do a check-in during this part because I wanted to show you guys this cottage cheese I discovered at the store. Mulululu. Okay, I'm sorry. At least my local Walmart does not sell Good Culture, and I'm really tired of having to go to other stores to look for it. So I searched it just in case, and this is what came up. Now, it's 18 grams of protein per serving. I am gonna just use half of a serving. I don't know, it's just the consistency I like. And then I have my favorite from the Asian market, enoki mushrooms. I use half of this because this is like $3, which is a lot for like a random breakfast side, but I really do enjoy it. It's a good way to get in some fiber in the morning. Nothing crazy, but yeah, we're gonna have this, some eggs, and a little toast for some carbs. And then for lunch, we are gonna be boring and eat the last of the soup. I'm sorry, but that's just what I do in this house. I make a big batch of something so I can have leftovers. That's the whole point. I've heard that some people don't like leftovers, and like, I feel bad for you because like, that just feels hella inconvenient, but so my sympathies to you. Jesus, I just made it worse. And then tonight, I don't know if this counts as healthy, but it does fit my macros, I will be having some Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. And you might be like, well, Maddie, how the hell does that fit in your macros? Basically, they make these quick steaks. Not bad on macros. I think a serving is 150 calories. It's a protein, obviously, so plenty of protein. I'm gonna have a serving and half of that, as will Henry. We're gonna use some keto buns because they're very low calorie. I don't really care that they're keto, they're just low calorie. I'm a huge fan of the Sargento thin sliced cheese, just because you get the cheese taste, but you're not eating a ton of calories in cheese, because cheese just adds up really fast. I love cheese, but still. And then, of course, for me personally, what's a Philly cheesesteak without the onions and peppers? I'm lazy. I have some frozen ones, so I'm just going to saute that. 2 servings, again, for some, you know, some fiber. Not a ton of fiber, but it's fiber and plants and nutrients. And then, I'm sorry, y'all. I feel like this is the way I was in the original video with the fiber popcorn. But when I have the calories for it, you best freaking believe I am going to have one of those banana peanut butter, well, PB2 for me, chocolate chip pocket things. I love them. They're so good. I feel like they're pretty nutrient dense for like just a little snickety snack. So yeah, we are here for it. That is day 3. I also have an Alani. I'm going to work out today, even though I feel like run over roadkill. All right, that's it. Okay, it's a little later in the morning. I am dressed to work out. I'm not working out till later, but I'm dressed to work out because I'm going to have to get dressed anyway. And I'm here to rant/whine. So if you're not interested in hearing that and you just want to see what I've eaten today, please skip ahead because it's not breakfast time yet. The scale didn't fucking move. And I'm like, Maddie, why are you spiraling? The scale's been not moving. But here's the thing. I talk with my hands. I weighed in last night, not on camera. I just, took a shower / bath. I got out, I stepped on the scale, and it was like 229 even. So I was like, oh, I think it's going to happen. I think it's finally going to move. Why did I hope? Why? And I've been spiraling all morning like, Maddie, what is happening? Because here's the thing. I feel like I'm putting in the work. Everybody and their mother is going to be like, well, just you need to eat less. I have had this calorie count cleared by 2 dietitians. Also, I cannot express this enough. If I eat less now, sure, the scale may move now, but eventually I'm going to get to the point where I can't cut more calories. And if my metabolism is at the point where it won't move and I can't cut more calories, I can't lose weight. We are almost 230 pounds. 1,450 calories a day feels reasonable. Plus working out. What are we doing? What is happening? I'm genuinely pondering what's going on. And the first thing is my cheat days. Now, a lot of the time with cheat days, that's when I go out to eat or I go to my mother's house and have Sunday dinner type of thing. I'm purely guessing. I will step on the scale all week. Now, I will say it's currently Friday. It's actually Pizza Friday. It's currently Friday. My cheat day this week was Monday because Monday was a holiday. So we're not that far removed from my cheat day, but what ends up happening is I step on the scale all week and the scale slowly moves down. It's moving down. And then comes time for my cheat day and and then naturally I gain some water weight and I'm like, oh, it's fine. And then I work all week to lose the weight that I gained during my cheat day, only for the next one to come around. Now, everybody and their mother, well, Maddie, you need to cut cheat days. Here's the thing. According to the Lose It app, every time I get to the end of the day and I hit finish logging, it tells me when I'm going to reach my goal. The Lose It app is like, hey, you should hit this goal by June of next year. The idea of not having cheat days until June of next year sounds fucking terrible. Moreover, and this is, I think, far more important, if I don't have cheat days, while I'm losing weight, then what makes you think I'll be able to enjoy an indulgent thing after I've lost the weight and not gain weight? Does this make sense? And someone can feel free to point it out. Furthermore, I'm actually lately, I haven't been having cheat meals for the sake of having them. So Monday, Memorial Day, we were actually out and about. We were kind of celebrating, not so much Memorial Day, sorry. Just in general, like we had plans that day, all that stuff. I wasn't just like, okay, it's time for my cheat day. It's happening no matter what. So that's number one. This upcoming weekend, my cheat day will be because we are going to Hannibal. We don't have access to Chinese food here, like good Chinese food where I live. So we are going to go have some food in Hannibal, and we are also going to go to Henry's nephew's graduation party, and I'm sure there's going to be like cake there. So like that's this week. The following week is my birthday. Is it me or all of these feel like reasonable reasons to like ingest some more calories that day? Regardless, I've never had this happen before where I am putting in the work and the scale isn't moving. And I'm reminding myself like, Maddie, you have hypothyroidism. That was confirmed. You have PCOS/PCOM. These things make it harder to lose weight. I just don't know that I've ever experienced so diligently putting the work in and not losing weight. And this is terrifying because I've seen the way the internet treats people who are struggling to lose weight, and it's not good. So there's that. But it is what it is. My subscribers are generally really supportive. I will say, I've had commenters be like, Maddie, you always like give all these caveats and like, we don't care. I can assure you that I have had videos where like after my regular viewers leave, like the haters trickle in. Haters is a very strong word, and it doesn't happen that often, but I've had some heinous comments that I've removed. Like if you're downright spewing straight up hate, you're gone. You gone. But like I have had like some like, you know, not great comments. And that's fine. I don't care. That's literally part of being a YouTuber, but I don't think I've ever had it where I know I'm putting the work in and it's just like, pfft. I did deal with this somewhat whenever I got my adenomyosis diagnosis. That rhymes, because I made it very clear when I would talk about that it's not about my weight. It never was about my weight. Is losing weight to have a baby, a healthy pregnancy, is that a good goal? Is that only gonna help me? Absolutely. But my infertility was a result of my PCOS/PCOM and my adenomyosis, and me being fat shamed at the doctor wasn't doing shit for me. So I did get comments and like DMs on Instagram and things of people being like, well, you just need to lose more weight and that'll help. And that didn't happen. And then I also had people saying I could cure my adenomyosis by losing weight. So I say this to say I literally have a medical ailment that has nothing to do with my weight, and people were still telling me, well, Maddie, if you just stop being a lard ass, then maybe that'll solve all your problems. Okay, God have mercy. The ranting. I'm so sorry. And my cat's playing with a cat toy. So I looked up what my maintenance calories are, and it's about 2,500 calories. So we are going to try to stick at or under that for my cheat days / cheat meal. Really hard to track my cheat days because usually it's like I'm going to a mom and pop restaurant. I'm going to my literal mother's. I'm not going to like McDonald's or somewhere where I can easily track. And maybe that's where I'm going wrong, but like that just sounds sad to me. And a lot of people are like, well, you're just giving it up for now. You can have it later. What makes you think that? Truly. And so I've been spiraling all morning, and that has resulted in a 10-minute rant in the middle of this video. So there's that. But okay, I'll be back for a much briefer breakfast check-in. I'm sorry. Okay, bye. Hello. We are rocking Darth Maddie because it feels apt. Also, I just love this thing. I got it a few years ago for Christmas, and it's excellent. So, breakfast. We are going to keep breakfast small because it's Pizza Friday! Pizza Friday! Woo, 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 woo. Pizza and salad Friday. Let's not forget the salad because balance, apparently. So for breakfast, this is not really breakfast, but we are going to have some protein coffee. It's 70 calories and 10 grams of protein. I'm not a big like drink my calories person, but I do feel like this kind of like takes the edge off. I feel like it's more filling than just having some liquid. Why does that sound weird? But that is not all we are having for breakfast, because I'm feeling a little bit of a sweet breakfast this morning. So we will be having, God, I don't want to call it cheesecake, but it does give cheesecake vibes. We will be having, basically I do this thing where I take a Dannon Light and Fit Greek yogurt. I layer a graham cracker at the bottom of a Pyrex bowl. I put the yogurt on top, and then I add some berries on top. Berries. And honestly, it does give cheesecake vibes. Now, you don't have to be extra like me and put it in a Pyrex bowl. I just like that the graham cracker like soaks in the yogurt and it's at the bottom like a crust. I think it's delicious, so very excited about that. And then for dinner tonight, we are keeping it simple with a sloppy Joseph. What makes him Joseph and not just Joe? Well, the answer is simply that it's just a healthier version. We're not using manwich. We are using tomato sauce and a number of other spices and things. We are also using ground chicken instead of ground beef. And Joseph also has some vegetables in him as well. And then we're going to eat some veggies on the side. So it is very good. I've made it in a previous vlog before, but it's been a hot minute since I've made it, and it's just delicious. It kind of hits the spot every time, and it hits that childhood nostalgia. But that is it for today's day of eating. We'll be back after these messages. I'm just kidding. We'll be back tomorrow. Chloe Ting has me working out for like an hour today. I feel like pre-workout is like a must. I just do. I'm gonna need it. What is it, day 5 now? Holy crap. So, it is day 5, and your girl ate a little brekkie this morning, and I am about to eat lunch. So, first thing in the morning, Henry brought me this lovely venti vanilla sweet cream cold brew. Now, normally I would only drink half of this, and I'd save the other half for tomorrow. In fact, I literally did that. Like, I put it in the fridge, tucked it in, good night, little angel. I'll see the rest of you tomorrow. But to be honest, I'm kind of flagging, and yes, 200 calories is a lot for a drink. I have the calories today. It just so happens I have the calories today. And while Henry was at Starbucks, he could have most certainly gotten me one of my go-to semi-healthy options, which is their spinach, feta, and egg white wrap. However, we can make that at home, which is what I did. I've done this before on the channel. And so, you know, I do one real egg because the egg yolk does have a lot of, you know, good health benefits in it. But yeah, you know, sun-dried tomatoes, spinach, feta, like it's hitting all the boxes. I also like to add a little hot honey, but my hot honey, she's at the end of her rope. She's fully crystallized. She has seen better days. I do need to get more. So I only had a teaspoon. I measured out like a little bit more than a teaspoon, but like I definitely had some left over. But yeah, I did that. Does anyone else leave their egg shells in the carton? I've heard like before, like people like, no, you're not supposed to do that because the salmonella. Has it ever occurred to you that I like to live dangerously? Has that occurred to you? Okay, I'm getting distracted. And for lunch, we are having, well, this isn't the only thing we're having, but we're having a real good chicken fillet. It's this little chicken fillet patty. This was the last of it. Me and Henry are each going to have one. It's only 140 calories, 20 grams of protein, and generally, like, they're made with pretty good ingredients. And then I would joke that it's girl dinner, but it kind of is and it kind of isn't. Because your girl, I want some Quest protein chips. I just do. I just want something on the side, you know? A little carrot, a little bit of that high protein cottage cheese. Add ranch seasoning to your cottage cheese. You heard it here first. And anything else I might have failed to mention. And then for dinner tonight, we are having what kind of used to be a staple, but I haven't made it in a long time, which is salsa chicken. It is the easiest freaking thing in the world. It is chicken breast, onion, bell pepper, salsa, taco seasoning. I had taco seasoning. And then I am also going to add a can of black beans for fiber. Corn is also a welcome addition. However, we just don't have a can of corn and it's not necessary. Literally, I've made it before with onion, bell pepper, salsa, and chicken. So it can really, you can like make it however you want to make it. So that is what we are going to do. And I will have my salsa chicken over cauliflower rice, but like Henry will probably have his in taco form. Hank's just going to eat chicken. It's going to be a good time. But that is it. That is what I have got for today. Tomorrow, I can't lie, it's a cheat day. I hate to call it that. I am going to take my shot tonight. Originally, I was going to take it tomorrow night. I stopped taking it on the weekends because I feel like roadkill. But I kind of was like, you know, maybe it might be smart to just go ahead and take it tonight so that I don't go overboard at the buffet tomorrow. But yeah, so tomorrow we will be out of town and getting Chinese buffet. We literally have not gone to a Chinese buffet. Me and Henry both like Chinese food buffet. We really like it. And we haven't been to one since before Hank was born. And Hank is 10 months. He's 10 and a half months. So it's been a hot minute. So this is truly a treat. But there's just not one. The closest good Chinese food buffet to us is like 45 minutes away. And, you know, when you have an infant, you really just don't have time to be like, oh, I'll just go an hour and a half round trip. But I'm going to like show B-roll of all the food that I eat tomorrow as a cheat day. And then we will reconvene for the final day of this challenge. I'm still not feeling great as far as like, you know, the whole weight loss or lack thereof is, but we're doing as good as we can do reasonably, honestly. Okay.
No, you look good. Don't lie to me.
Yeah, so I tried this on at the beginning of the year. I was like 23 pounds heavier. And I don't know, it feels like a huge difference. Now I am wearing a bra, whereas...
Hi there, buddy.
I literally couldn't fit the bra with it Jesus, at the beginning of this year, I could not fit it. But it fits now.
Mm-hmm.
So the boobs look perkier, but yeah, otherwise, I'm going to get a belt to go with this. But yeah, I feel cute. Let's go to the graduation party. Okay, why am I acting extra? Also, I need to turn this on. All right, we are here for, I guess, what is technically breakfast. However, the time is right on here. It is 12:19. And your girl is just not super hungry. I'ma just be real with y'all. You know, following a cheat day, I'm just often not that hungry. That's not, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, I need to stop going out to eat so I can pay off debt and, you know, buy a house, even in this economy. Okay, it may not look it, but it's about 20 minutes later and we are back, baby. But yeah, even without being on a GLP-1, that's just kind of how I am. I'm just never as hungry after a cheat day. I will say cheat days do help me poop, which is why this morning when I stepped on the scale, I was like, oh, that's not so bad. So that's nice because GLP-1 also makes me constipated. I'm sorry, TMI, I'm sorry I'm talking about poop, but that's just how it is. But we have a little breakfast. Earlier this week, I found myself asking to you guys and to myself about like other fiber-forward breakfasts that aren't just oatmeal. And I came across this, and Henry went to the store. I basically already had all the ingredients except a container of raspberries. It's basically a chia pudding. I did not let these soak overnight, but they have soaked for about 2 hours. I will say it does call for putting an entire container of raspberries in it in this economy. So there's that. But I'm going to do as it says because it sounds really good. I think I need a bigger bowl. We're going to need a bigger boat. All right, I know we're cutting off part of my head, but I wanted you to actually see what I am doing. I have this container. It is a 1/4 cup of yogurt, a 1/4 cup of milk. For me, that's going to be a low-fat Fairlife milk, and 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. You mix that with a container of mushed raspberries. I'm going to top mine with some honey and some wild blueberries. If you didn't know, wild blueberries actually have more fiber and antioxidants than regular blueberries. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it's not much more fiber. It's only about 2 grams. Apparently, wild blueberries do have more antioxidants, and that can really help with inflammation. I have heard also that soaking your chia seeds can help like mitigate any like tummy upset, because they do have so much fiber. People can, you know, their tummies can get upset. And so much like with beans, if you pre-soak your chia seeds, it just helps. I don't know what else to say, because it's expanding in this container. It's not expanding in your belly. I don't really have that problem, but because once I add the blueberries to this, it's 25 grams of fiber in one meal. I just don't want my tummy to be like bloated and upset. Do I think that'll happen? No. Now, I will say I'm not a big chia pudding person, so there's a chance I won't care for this too much. But it is a nice hefty serving. This is a heavy bowl. So I'm gonna try it a little bit without the sweetener. I'm also not a Greek yogurt person, so I don't know why I'm like, yeah, I'll like it. Oh, those raspberries are tart. Oh, it's good. Yeah, it's good. Okay, it's very seedy. Chia seeds, raspberries, it's gonna be seedy. I swear. My, God, he's coming up on 11 months. My almost 11-month-old, we give him Greek yogurt and raspberries and things. And I kid you not, specifically for raspberries and the Greek yogurt, he'll eat it and he'll be eager about it, as babies at his age often are. But every few bites, he like short circuits and is like, ugh. And it's so funny and cute. Oh, man. Hello there, ladies. And we are here for the final dinner of this challenge. And that dinner is chicken salad. I'm using Aldi's pre-done rotisserie chicken because I am looking for like a quick dinner. I like Aldi's. Part of the reason I went over there is because I wanted to try their Fairlife dupe for this video, but unfortunately, they were completely out, which kind of makes me think it's good. So we'll see. But either way, I'm going to drink a regular Fairlife. That might be all I eat today. If I do, I'm going to show it on the screen now. This is 10 ounces of red grapes. So anyway, I looked up the chicken salad chick, like recipe or whatever. And a lot of the dupes said that they use sour cream. Now, your girl hates sour cream. I'm just going to be real with you. I'm going to, basically, this is kind of to your taste. Like, how wet, giggity, I'm so sorry. How wet do you like your chicken salad? If you like it extra wet, and I'm using the word wet to avoid using the M word, moist. If you like yours extra wet, then use extra yogurt and mayo. But okay, I am both sorry and not sorry that this was such a ranty video. I do have people that say they like my rant, so if you liked this video, please give me a supportive comment. I think I'm going to do something I did not do last time, and I'm going to check in a few days with like maybe an updated weight and some final thoughts that are less angry. Okay, apologies for the framing of this shot. We're doing the best we can. My nightstand is super dirty. My cat is wanting attention. So it has been a few days since I finished filming everything that I have been eating, doing the Chloe Ting challenge, and ranting a bunch about the scale stalling. Despite being really annoyed about my lack of progress, I did just kind of hold the line and keep pressing on. It's just really hard being on the internet sometimes. Like, I think I'm harder on myself than a lot of my audience is. Regardless, I have prattled on long enough. If you got to the end of this, if you listened to my ranting and my whining, you truly are the realest of ones. I'm going to put an emoji over here. Either way, if you liked this video, do all the usual things. Like, comment, and subscribe, because the YouTube wizards, they really do like that for the growth of my channel. I hope you guys are having an excellent day. The full Chloe Ting challenge, my results coming out in a few weeks. But I will see you all in the next one. Bye. Bye.